This time we are going to give an extreme cleaning to this Dacia van that has not seen a cloth in a long time. The type of dirt it has shows that this vehicle has been used for work in the field. It gets filled with dust, which is usually superficial and easy to remove. However, in this case, what we have is a lot of grime and embedded dirt from handling everything with dirty hands, and this is not so easy to clean. One thing that can get so dirty are the seats, which have been somewhat protected by these covers. Although the headrest, as you can see, has an incredible layer of grease and dirt. The steering wheel has a cover that I believe can't get any dirtier, but the steering wheel itself has an amount of dirt that I haven't seen in a long time. Even the turn signal lever was very disgusting. The center console was being used as an ashtray, and you couldn't even see the carpets due to the amount of ash that had been thrown here. And the handbrake lever had a lot of grime stuck to it from being touched with dirty, sweaty hands. The truth is that these parts were really disgusting to touch. There were areas in the car where there were spider webs, and as you can see, the carpet was generally a mess. The trunk area had some blankets to protect it, and to be honest, for a work vehicle it wasn't very dirty. Additionally, it had a rubber mat for the floor, and the carpet was actually in good condition. The driver's seatbelt was touched with dirty hands, as it also had a significant layer of grime. And as for the engine area, there will be even more dirt if you don't clean the interior of the car. What were you expecting to find in the engine? And well, we have all that work ahead of us. As you can see, the car is practically dirty everywhere. Before we start disassembling anything, since this car has sliding doors that collect a lot of dirt in the track, we are going to use high pressure water to remove all this dirt. If we do it with the interior clean, we risk getting it dirty again, so we take the opportunity to do it now. Here we don't complicate things too much and we just remove the bulk of it. Then when we see the exterior of the car, we give this area a thorough hand wash to remove anything that might be left. When we finish the frames, we can start with the interior of the car. As always, we begin by removing the upholstery so that we can clean it and clear the interior of the car for a thorough cleaning. With the upholstery removed, we can see the true condition of the carpet, and we can observe that there isn't a single part that is spared in the trunk area. The edges of the carpet are quite dirty. Therefore, to clean this entire area properly, we also remove the rubber from the trunk, allowing us to clean it while it is disassembled. And we also took the mats out of the car. The first thing we are going to clean, as we always do, is the seats, so that while we are cleaning the rest of the car, they can dry. As you can see, these are not as dirty compared to the rest of the car, but since they have so much dirt in the tracks and headrests, they look quite sad. We are going to clean them as always with pressure water. To spray the degreaser more quickly, we will prepare it in the pressure sprayer at 10%, which will help us get the job done faster. Important, as I always say, spray the entire fabric well, and let it sit for a while so that the degreaser can take effect and loosen the dirt. Using the pressure sprayer, the truth is that the job gets done faster, but it also wastes a lot more product because it dispenses a large amount. In my opinion, the manual method might be better. As you can see in the video, the areas that have grime change color with the degreaser. Once we have finished with the degreaser, we can start cleaning with the pressure washer. We need to apply it evenly to the entire seat, and if we still see dirt, we have to repeat the degreaser and pressure water process. And as we always do, once they are clean, we use the vacuum to remove the excess water to facilitate drying. Once they are clean, we forget that they are there and move on to cleaning the car. Before starting with the vacuum cleaner using compressed air, we will dust the plastic parts inside to avoid getting the carpet dirty again. Once we have finished blowing everything, we start vacuuming. To make a comparison, I will do half of the carpet, but ideally, it should be done evenly throughout. Many of you may be wondering why the carpet isn't being removed, and the truth is that this carpet is so poor and so thin that cleaning it while it's still in place is actually easy. If I take it apart, I can clean it with a pressure washer, but the pressure washer doesn't remove the dirt trapped in the carpet's fibers, and in the end, I will end up doing the same work as if it were still installed in the car. So to work faster, we save time by not taking apart all the plastics to remove the carpet. These types of carpets are terrible, and it's not just Dacia that uses them. Peugeot, Renault, and Citroën also use them. Considering the price of a new car, they could honestly provide something of better quality, as these carpets can get ruined very quickly, especially if there are children who step on them carelessly, even when the car is practically new. As you can see, with just a simple vacuuming, we can do very little. The dirt is well stuck, and we need to use other tools to clean it. To be able to start it more superficially, we will make a pass with the drill and brush. This will remove the dust and dirt that comes off more easily. After brushing everything, we will vacuum up everything we have disturbed. As you can see, this pass is noticeably better, but even so, the drill brush cannot completely remove what is still embedded. So, to remove what we are stuck with, we are going to use the tornado. First, we will do a dry pass with the faucet closed to get more dust out, and then do another pass with the vacuum cleaner. As you can see, this pass is already much more noticeable, but there is still dirt to remove. For the next pass, we open the tornado's tap to let the degreaser out and do the wet cleaning. With this pass, any stains on the carpet disappear. To clean the rubber area of the feet, we apply a degreaser and scrub well with a brush to remove the dirt. Then we wipe it with a dry fiber cloth. As I mentioned before, this carpet is of very poor quality and is full of balls. To remove these balls, we use the brush I have for getting dog hair out, and we give it a pass to take everything off. Although miracles cannot be performed with these carpets, I believe the difference is somewhat noticeable. In the trunk area there was mud, or who knows what stuck to the carpet, and it was almost impossible to remove by hand, and the entire plastic area was filled with it as well. The best approach was to disassemble and scrape the entire area and then vacuum. When I washed the frames with pressure water, water fell in this area, and everything looked mixed. The truth is it was strange, but the best thing is not to ask too much and remove it quickly. To finish cleaning the metal area, we apply a degreaser and use the drill and brush to remove everything, and then we vacuum to get rid of all the dirt we have removed. Aside from the carpet, I tried using a degreaser and brushing it, but there was no way to get it off because it was very stuck. The best option, or the only thing that could be done, was to disassemble it and clean it with high pressure water. This carpet is actually very easy to remove. You just need to lift a few rings, a couple of staples, and that's it. And then we can take it out of the car. To clean it, we placed it in the outdoor washing area and used high pressure water to remove all the stuck mud. Here I had a problem because foam kept coming out no matter how much I tried to rinse, and in the end, I had to vacuum to get rid of the foam. It could be that someone had spilled some soap in the trunk at some point, which is why this happened to me. Once we have it clean, we let it dry and we will install it later. Then we just need to clean the other part of the carpet to finish the floor. With the carpet already clean, we can move on to cleaning the plastics. The good thing about this car is that it is all plastic, and this cleans quite easily. These plastics, as they have a lot of texture, trap a lot of dirt. So to clean everything well, when we apply the degreaser, we brush to remove all the dirt, and then we use a microfiber cloth to wipe everything off. I don't think it's necessary for me to show you the before and after in the video. The next part we are going to clean is this disgusting steering wheel that the car has. We don't even try to clean the steering wheel cover because it's not worth it, so we just throw it directly in the trash. I believe I've never cleaned a steering wheel that had dirt making a 2009 cover. What I love about the degreaser is the reaction it creates. It's the dirt that makes everything look bad, or that really shows you how dirty everything was. There are parts of the car that you start to clean, and you spray the degreaser, thinking they weren't that dirty. But when the dirt begins to come off, you realize the reality of the grime that has managed to accumulate everywhere. As you can see, the cleaning process is more or less the same whether we are cleaning the door panel, the dashboard, or the steering wheel. It is quite similar. On the steering wheel, the only difference is that since it had so much dirt, I first used the cloth to remove the bulk, and then I used the brush to get rid of what was embedded. And finally, a last pass with the cloth, giving it a bit of compressed air to clean the little gaps of the logo and the more hidden parts of the steering wheel. And that's it. We would have it clean.
As you fade away,
yeah, I'm about to fade away, 'cause every time I wake up I feel like
Another part that was really disgusting was the turn signal lever. And everything that is touched with sweaty or dirty hands from work or whatever gets really gross. And to clean it, just apply a bit of the degreaser, let it sit, and then use a cloth and a brush to clean it a little. After that, blow out the crevices so that they don't stay damp or have dirt stuck in them, and that's it. The rest of the plastics in the car are the same. I know that Dacia cars are very economical inside and use the same plastic for everything, so the cleaning process is similar. Apply the degreaser, brush everything well, and then use a clean dry microfiber cloth, and that's it. Here, for example, in the air vents, I like to use compressed air to remove all the dust inside, since there is no way to clean that by hand with a cloth or a brush because you can't reach the inside. So I like to apply a bit of degreaser and then dry it with compressed air. If you notice, in all the areas where hands usually touch, everything is disgusting. This, with a cleaning once a month, prevents the need to clean the car every week to keep it in good condition. However, a touch-up every month is appreciated, and this way, dirt and grime do not accumulate in all these areas.
too long. It hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
Many of you ask me if it damages the button areas, for example, of the radio or the air conditioning, when I spray degreaser on them like that. If you put degreaser inside the button panel into the electronic circuit, it can definitely cause problems. That's why when applying degreaser to this area, you shouldn't overdo it or wet it too much to avoid any issues, and that's it. The part of the gear knob was one of the dirtiest areas of the interior. The layer of dirt on it was honestly very disgusting to touch. If you look at the numbers, they were practically buried in filth. To clean it, first scrape off the bulk of the dirt, then brush it and blow it with compressed air, and repeat the brushing process until it is clean. And yes, before you put it in the comments, let me clarify that what I used to scrape the dirt off the surface was indeed the test lamp. This tool, which is typically used for testing electrical circuits, proved to be quite handy in this situation. Now, let's talk about this rubber piece you see here. This particular piece is from the driver's side of the vehicle. Just take a moment to observe how incredibly dirty it has become over time. The dirt accumulation is primarily due to it constantly rubbing against the arm when someone gets into the car. This repetitive action has caused a significant amount of grime to build up, making it look quite unsightly. It's fascinating how such a small component can get so dirty just from regular use. The test lamp, although not designed for this purpose, was effective in scraping off the dirt, showcasing its versatility. This rubber piece, being an essential part of the car, needs to be cleaned regularly to maintain its appearance and functionality. The dirt not only affects its look, but can also impact its performance. Regular maintenance and cleaning are crucial to ensure that all parts of the vehicle remain in good condition. So, next time you notice dirt on such components, remember that even unconventional tools like a test lamp can come in handy for cleaning purposes. We just need to clean the seat belts, and as you can see, the driver's one is a bit brown. As you can see, the truth is that the whole car was like that. You all advise me a lot to take it out of the car and clean it with the karcher, but if you notice, part of the belt stays inside where we can't use the karcher, and since I have the seats disassembled, it's more convenient for me to clean it inside the car. As we always do, we put it in a container with water and degreaser and let it sit to effectively remove all the dirt, then we give it a rinse and it's ready. And I think this seat belt is one of the dirtiest I have cleaned, the driver's belt, because the rest of the seat belts in the car, honestly with a little degreaser and a cloth, come out well, but the driver's is super disgusting. Plus you just have to see the reaction of the degreaser and how the grime comes out of the fabric. I like to soak it in the degreaser, leaving it there for as long as needed for everything to loosen up, and then transfer it to a container with clean water, give it a rinse, and then use a dry fiber cloth to remove all the water. I rub it a bit in case there are any stains or dirt left, and then finish cleaning it. And that's it. The seatbelt looks like new. Now that we have all the plastics inside clean, we can apply the dashboard polish. As you already know, this is from my private label. It is a gel and works for both old and new cars, as the shine it leaves is natural. To use it, we need to put a small amount on the applicator and spread it well over all the plastics, then let it dry for about 15 to 20 minutes. What I like to do is start from one end, clean the entire car thoroughly, and when I'm done, I take a microfiber cloth and give the whole car a once-over, including all the plastics, to remove any excess product, and to finish spreading it if it hasn't been applied evenly in some areas. The shine it leaves, as I said, is natural and does not contain silicone. As you can see, the plastics regain their original color with a soft shine that makes them look new again. Now that we have finished the interior, we just need to install the carpet of the trunk and seat and clean the rubber of the trunk. To clean it, we apply a bit of degreaser and brush it well with the drill, and then we rinse it thoroughly with water under pressure. To clean the mats, since they are made of rubber just like the trunk, we follow the same process. We apply the degreaser, scrub well with the drill brush to remove all the dirt, and rinse with high pressure water. Once we have the rubber of the trunk dry, we place it back in its position, and to restore some shine, which as you can see has some wear from carrying things in the trunk, we are going to apply diluted rubber and tire polish at 10. We apply a little all over the rubber mat and let it evaporate a bit, and then with a dry fiber cloth we spread it well over all the mats. When it dries, it will have restored some of the color and won't be as shiny. It will be a little more matte. Finally, after thoroughly cleaning the interior of the car, including the carpets, cleaning the plastic, applying dashboard polish and detailing everything, we can install the seats. For those wondering how long it took for these to dry, it took 3 days. Before placing the carpet in the car, we give it a treatment with the rubber polish so that it looks like new, just like we did with the rubber of the trunk. And with this, the interior of the car would be finished. I believe the difference is noticeable a little bit, and there's no need for me to point out in every image what the before and after is, because it's quite evident already from the color of the plastics, the amount of dust that the carpet had, the grime on the steering wheel, the buttons, everything. I think it has been an interior that has greatly appreciated the cleaning. I know many of you will think, how can someone keep their car like that? I say there are all kinds of people. Some have their homes super clean but their cars are a mess, while others have cars that always look new, but their homes are not cleaned. In other words, there are people for everything. There are people for whom the car is a work tool and they don't care how dirty it is. All they want is for it to take them to work, and that's it. They don't complicate things. Now that we have the interior completely finished, we move the car to the outside area, and the first thing we are going to clean is the engine. We clean the engine first because when the hood is open and we use high pressure water, dirt from the engine splashes onto the body. And if we clean the body first, we will obviously stain it when we clean the engine. So we start with the engine, remove a terminal from the battery, and take the multi-purpose degreaser to spray the entire engine well. This needs to be sprayed completely because any part that has grease and doesn't get degreaser, no matter how much pressure water we use, will not get cleaned. Once we have allowed the degreaser to act for a while, and it has effectively removed the dirt with high pressure water, we begin to clean the engine. You always ask me this whenever I upload a video cleaning an engine, whether it's good or bad, with some people saying it's bad. I've told you many times that, in my experience, nothing bad has ever happened to me. It can be bad, I won't argue with that. Perhaps at some point, some part, some connector, something might remain damp and the car could have problems. However, in my experience, nothing like that has ever happened to me. If anything ever happens to me, be assured that I will share it with you. I will say, look, I washed this engine and I had this problem because I got this wet. But for now, I can't say anything because nothing has happened to me. When we have it clean with compressed air, I like to thoroughly dry all the connectors and remove any water that gets trapped in some areas where it cannot escape. Once it is dry, if we want to give the engine a more premium wash, we can take the rubber and tire dressing and apply it to all the plastics on the engine. We let it dry a little, and then with a clean microfiber cloth, we wipe it down to spread the product and remove the excess, and that's it. The plastics will look as good as new. Well, I don't think I need to show the before and after for the engine part either because it's quite noticeable. We move to the exterior and find a body that hasn't been cleaned in a long time because there is a lot of dirt accumulated on the undercarriage and the rims. As you can see, the rust is a rusty color. Let's start by doing a pre-wash on the wheel. So we apply the multi-purpose degreaser. I like to apply it undiluted directly when the wheel is very dirty, and then use a brush or a scrubber to remove all the rust, and then rinse it with high pressure water. Once we have the wheels clean, we move on to cleaning the body. First, we apply a bit of degreaser diluted to 10% on the areas that catch bugs, such as the mirrors, windshield, hood, bumper, and if we have bird droppings or any dirt stuck to the body, we also apply a bit of degreaser. After applying the degreaser, we prepare some body shampoo, which is the one I have for pre-washing, and we apply it to the entire body. We let it sit for a while to loosen the dirt so that it comes off easily. Now that we have done the pre-wash, we are going to do the hand wash. In other videos, you have seen that I prepared 2 containers of water, one for the shampoo and another for rinsing the mitt. But this time we are going to apply the shampoo with the lance and we will only prepare 1 container for rinsing the mitt. When we have the car covered in foam, we dampen the mitt and thoroughly scrub the body while rinsing to avoid dragging dirt. After scrubbing the entire car, we give it a rinse with pressurized water. Now that the car is clean, we can dry the body and we are going to use the spatula. Many of you mentioned in the comments that it scratches the car, but it is not made of silicones, so it does not scratch the car. Obviously the car has to be very clean because if there is any dirt stuck to the body, we can drag it and scratch it. But I tell you that if the car is well cleaned, it won't scratch. I say this because I have polished a few cars and then washed them and used a spatula and nothing happens to them. And then, to thoroughly dry the entire body with a microfiber towel or a cloth, we give it one last pass to get into all the nooks and crannies and that's it. On the tires, to make them look new even if they are not, we apply a polish, and on the wheel arches, when they are plastic, we can also apply it to keep them black. On the back there was a pretty large dent in the bumper, and well, it comes off quite easily, although it can't be perfect because that's impossible. But anyway, we give it a little heat, and with a lever from the inside, or if we can with our hand, we push it and bring the plastic back to its place. To properly fix this bumper, you would need to remove the bumper, Apply a lot of heat, get all the plastic back into place, and then sand it, fill it, and paint it with plastic paint. But well, this is a detail so that the bumper doesn't end up looking like 2001 and instead looks different. To give a bit of shine to the bodywork and provide protection, we will use Quick Detail liquid wax. This is super easy to apply, we just need to spray a little on the bodywork and use a clean cloth to spread the product until it evaporates. With this, we achieve a repellent effect that will keep the car clean for a longer time. This wax can also be used for dry cleaning, which I don't recommend. For example, using it directly on a car with the dirt it had is not advisable. However, if the car has a light layer of dust, or if we are going to an event and it has gotten a bit dirty on the way, then a quick dry application can be done without any problem. To restore the color of the plastics in the exterior trims, we will use the tire tightener. We will use it in its pure form and apply it directly to the plastic. After applying it, we let it dry for a few minutes and then we remove the excess product with a clean cloth. Once we have the scratches done, we have the exterior completely clean and we are going to move on to cleaning the windows. For this, we are going to use my window cleaner and paper towels. I don't know if I leave it for last because I hate it or because it's better. Well, actually I like to leave them for last because I prefer to have the outside clean and then clean the inside. That way, when you clean the inside, you know that the stains are from the inside since the outside is already clean. The trick I use to clean the windows and keep them clean more or less on the first try is to spray a little glass cleaner and use one side of the paper to wipe away all the dirt. Then I flip the paper over and use the dry side to give it another pass, and with this they usually end up clean. First, I will leave you with a before and after of the exterior so you can see the difference between how it was and how we have left it.